The mist swirled around the ancient clock tower, its hands frozen at precisely midnight. In the eerie stillness, a figure emerged, cloaked in shadows and regret. This was no ordinary traveler, but a wanderer through time itself, burdened with the weight of 1,000 forgotten futures. Imagine, if you will, a world where every path not taken, every forgotten dream still echoed. What if you could revisit those abandoned futures, only to be haunted by the might-have-beens? Join us on a poignant journey through the spectral remnants of what could have been, and explore the bittersweet symphony of choices made and paths left untrodden. Our time traveler, let's call her Elara, stood at the precipice of memory and possibility. Her eyes, deep pools of wisdom and sorrow, gazed upon the shimmering threads of alternate timelines that only she could see. With a trembling hand, she reached out, her fingers brushing against the gossamer strands of a life unlived. In an instant, the world around her shifted, melting away like watercolors in the rain. Elara found herself standing in a sunlit garden, the air heavy with the scent of roses and forgotten promises. This was the future she had once dreamed of, a life of quiet contentment and simple joys. But as she watched the spectral figures of what might have been, a loving family, a cozy home, she felt a sharp pang in her chest. This future, so tantalizingly close, was forever beyond her reach. With a heavy heart, Elara turned away, only to find herself transported once more. The garden faded, replaced by the bustling energy of a grand metropolis. Towering skyscrapers of glass and steel reached towards the heavens, their surfaces reflecting a world of ambition and success. In this timeline, she had chosen a different path, one of relentless pursuit of power and prestige. As she walked the gleaming streets, Elara caught glimpses of herself in the reflections, a sharp-suited executive, a renowned scientist, a celebrated artist. Each version of herself seemed to radiate confidence and accomplishment. Yet, as she looked closer, she saw the shadows that lurked behind their eyes, the price paid for such lofty achievements. The city dissolved around her, and Elara found herself standing on a windswept cliff, overlooking a vast turbulent sea. This was perhaps the most painful vision of all, a future where she had dared to follow her heart, to chase a love that burned brighter than the stars themselves. She watched as spectral figures danced along the shore, their laughter carried away by the salty breeze. Her heart ached with a longing so profound it threatened to tear her apart. But even as she reached out, desperate to touch this most cherished of forgotten futures, it slipped through her fingers like sand. Elara was left alone on the cliff, the echoes of what might have been fading into the mournful cry of seagulls. Time and again, Elara found herself thrust into these abandoned visions, each one a bittersweet reminder of the choices she had made and the paths she had left untaken. She wandered through the mists of possibility, witnessing lives of adventure and discovery, of quiet contemplation and fierce passion, of triumphs and tragedies that now existed only in the realm of what if. As she journeyed through these phantom futures, Elara began to understand the true nature of her gift and her curse. For in seeing all that might have been, she was forced to confront the weight of every decision, every crossroad where she had chosen one path over another. The burden of knowledge pressed down upon her, a constant reminder of the infinite possibilities that lay just beyond her grasp. Yet, as the visions continued to unfold before her, something began to change within Elara. The sharp sting of regret slowly gave way to a deeper understanding, a profound appreciation for the intricate tapestry of choices and consequences that had led her to this moment. She realized that each abandoned future, each forgotten dream, had played its part in shaping the person she had become. In one particularly poignant vision, Elara found herself in a humble library, surrounded by books that seemed to whisper secrets of the universe. Here, in this quiet sanctuary of knowledge, she saw a version of herself that had devoted her life to unraveling the mysteries of time itself. As she watched this other self pore over ancient tomes and scribble complex equations, Elara felt a spark of recognition. It was this very pursuit, this insatiable curiosity about the nature of time and choice, that had led her to become a time traveler in the first place. The realization washed over her like a warm wave, bringing with it a sense of peace she had not felt in countless journeys. For the first time, Elara began to see her ability not as a curse, but as a gift, a unique opportunity to witness the infinite possibilities of existence and to truly appreciate the path she had chosen. As this newfound understanding took root, the visions around Elara began to change. No longer were they tinged with the bitter ache of regret. Instead, they seemed to glow with a soft, comforting light, each one a testament to the rich tapestry of potential that existed within every moment, every choice. Elara found herself once more in the garden of her first vision, but this time she saw it with new eyes. The spectral figures of the family she might have had no longer filled her with sorrow. Instead, she felt a deep gratitude for the love and connection they represented, even if only in this abandoned timeline. She understood now that this vision had shaped her capacity for compassion and her appreciation for the simple joys of life. In the gleaming city of ambition, Elara no longer saw only the shadows of sacrifice. She recognized the drive and determination that had always been a part of her, qualities that had served her well in her own journey through time. The abandoned futures of success and recognition were not lost opportunities, but reflections of her own potential realized in different ways along her chosen path. And on the windswept cliff, where the echoes of a great love still lingered, Elara felt not despair, but a profound appreciation for the depth of emotion she was capable of experiencing. This vision of love, though unfulfilled in her own timeline, had opened her heart to the beauty and pain of human connection, enriching every relationship she had formed along the way. As Elara continued her journey through these spectral remnants of possibility, she began to weave together the threads of all she had witnessed. Each abandoned future, each forgotten dream, was a brushstroke in the masterpiece of her existence. The paths not taken were not losses to be mourned, but essential elements that had shaped the contours of her life, guiding her towards her true destiny as a traveler through time. With this revelation, the mists of regret that had long clouded Elara's vision began to dissipate. The abandoned futures no longer haunted her, but instead stood as silent witnesses to the infinite potential that existed within every moment. She understood now that her journey was not about lamenting what might have been, but about embracing the unique tapestry of experiences that had led her to this point. As the last vision faded away, Elara found herself once more at the foot of the ancient clock tower. But now, its frozen hands no longer seemed a symbol of stagnation and missed opportunities. Instead, they stood as a reminder that time, in all its complexity, was a river with countless tributaries, each one vital to the greater flow of existence. With a small smile playing at the corners of her lips, Elara stepped forward into the swirling mist. She was ready now to continue her journey, not as a prisoner of regret, but as a witness to the beautiful, intricate dance of choice and consequence that shaped the very fabric of time itself. For in the end, she had learned the most valuable lesson of all, that it was not the paths not taken that defined us, but the courage to embrace the journey we have chosen with all its twists and turns, its joys and sorrows. And as Elara vanished into the mists of time, she carried with her the echoes of forgotten futures, no longer as a lament, but as a celebration of the infinite possibilities that exist within every beating heart.